ROC. Next sign up is Ihipera. She is a second year student, digital art student, who's about to complete her diploma in applied arts, digital arts. So without further ado, here's Ihipera.
Alright, so in the hot seat now. So this is your, was it second year? Did I hear that right?
Second year.
Second year graduation. You're gonna carry on to into the third year?
Yeah, I'm gonna carry on into the third year.
Alright, so tell us about yourself.
I've lived in Whangarei my entire life. Left high school pretty early and then just went straight into the workforce. And then was tired of doing it, so I wanted to do something that I liked, and drawing was what I was doing at the time.
So how old are you, sorry?
I am 18.
18. So you graduated, when did you finish school and go on to workforce?
I left school when I was 14,
Mm-hmm.
and then just straight from there I was working in the orchards.
Wow. Orchards, whereabouts in the orchards?
We were doing Keefe and we were all over the place.
So up north in Kerikeri area or?
Everywhere.
Alright. So you're now 18 and this is your second year. So after, I guess after 2 years in the workforce, were you working part-time or full-time?
I was working full-time.
Wow. So it's a regular 40-hour week at the age of 14 to 16.
Yeah.
And now, so the last 2 years you've been at Polytech. What made you want to go to do arts?
I was drawing the entire time while I was working. So, you know, I'd come home drawing. I was really obsessed with video game art, and I got really into cartoons, but I had been doing that since I was maybe like 12 or 11.
Cool.
So it just spiraled from there.
Yeah. So natural progression towards it. And this is what I find quite interesting is a lot of time people think that I'll just go into full-time work and that's all I will do for the rest of my life. But here you are, and I've noticed about a lot of artists that on the side they'll carry on what they love. And even though they might be working a menial job, what we consider menial because it's, you know, but it's work and you get a routine, and so you're used to getting that routine and you're used to getting up to do that even though it's boring. But that actually teaches myself and everybody else who's in the workforce how to organize yourself to get to things, how to get things done on time and stuff. So when you're going to getting up early, and so when you go to school and you have to get artwork done on time. You got projects and you got to meet deadlines on. So how was that like when, you know, having to suddenly change from doing that labor work towards actual artwork?
I found it pretty difficult, to be honest, because I never experienced being able to produce what I thought was good enough. So what I was doing was just like sketches and drawing, and maybe I'd colored it if it felt like it. And Jade saw that. I also did like just vivid work, so straight vivid, and Jade saw that it was just, she liked it. So transitioning from just doing that kind of stuff to more, I guess, meaningful things was pretty hard.
What do you mean by meaningful things? Like
because they were just sketches at first,
right?
And they were just drawing what I liked, and now I have to draw what I like, but I need to personally give it a bit more emphasis on what I'm drawing this for and why I'm drawing it.
I see. So you're basically having to, like we're talking about deadlines and having a set project. So you got to, I mean, from what I remember, it's been a few years since I've been at, you know, in that situation in the classroom. You get a set deadline of, I mean, you get a project and you work out what elements you got to introduce into that project as part of what the worksheet's been set up for you. So you're used to working harder anyway, so when it came to actually meeting deadlines, were you able to meet deadlines that someone else had sent?
No, those are pretty smooth. You didn't really struggle with it.
I mean, because previously you were basically just doing sketches for yourself, and now you're actually having to do a project for someone else to mark. What was that like?
It was pretty shifty, but no, it wasn't anything too difficult because I was able to just wipe them out really fast. But exhibiting works is the stressful thing.
All right.
Because I did a digital one just recently where I had words on the walls and skulls and faces in front of them. And doing something like that was like, I don't want to ask anyone for feedback, so I'm too afraid. I don't want to approach anybody. I didn't want anybody to see it. I had to keep the door closed. Nobody was allowed in while I was sitting up besides the teacher and other classmates. So that was really nerve-wracking.
I mean, we live in a generation where it's like anything you put up, someone wants to comment on it. And it's quite difficult as an artist to, and I know professional artists who've actually taken themselves away from the internet so they could actually not have people judging every single thing. And so do you find it difficult having someone comment on what you're doing or critique? Because a lot of people do criticism and they don't understand what critique is. Critique is when you actually say, hey, this looks good, but if you did that, that'll make it a bit better. Whereas everybody goes, other people who don't know anything will go, oh, that's bad. That's it.
Yeah.
And they'll leave it at that. That's a criticism. And what I found when I was at school is that you get critiques. And so how do you deal with critiques where you think, someone's commenting on your work, but they actually, you have to decide whether it's a critique or if it's a criticism of what your work?
I take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Take everything like that. But no, I think it's good for me personally, because I need to get over it. Otherwise, I'm just not going to be able to do what I want to do. Because I want to travel and I want to do it globally, so I need to get over it. It's just something I need to do for myself. Okay.
So, so what was it like having been working full time and then coming into a classroom set where you've only got like a few hours a day, compared to where you're like 8 hours straight on full time work? What are you doing, 6 days a week or 5 days a week?
I'm doing 7 days a week.
7 days a week. And so now you're transitioning into 5 days a week or 4 days a week, depending on your class setup. So what was it like?
Well, I had a part-time job at the time. I moved from doing that kind of work to working at Kmart part-time. So it worked out easy, but yeah, I didn't have any problems with any schedules or deadlines. It was just smooth sailing for me for the first year. But this year's been a little bit more difficult because the load's gotten heavier.
Yeah.
And even though there's less teachers, so there's less days there, it's just a bigger workload.
Sure.
So, and it's a whole bunch of learning different softwares, like made video games earlier this year, so that was an entire thing that I had to take in.
Yeah.
And Photoshop we started learning last year. I'm still trying to get the hang of it. So it's a learning process.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are putting out on the 14th. You're going to be exhibiting on the 14th as well?
No, ours is already passed.
Oh, okay. So, but you have work that we can, people can look at. So,
yeah.